what gacha gamers need to be doing right now. As many of you may know, I have been playing a lot of Wuthering Waves lately. Wuthering Waves 2.0 just came out with the Renacita patch, and it's probably the best patch in all of gacha gaming that I've ever played. It's coming out guns blazing with a whole new boatload of content, new map to explore, the city is great, the gameplay is still great, it's Wuthering Waves, and exploration is actually fun. I'm actually going around the map exploring. As someone who doesn't like open world exploration, like I hate it. I don't even have Breath of the Wild finished. I've never played Genshin Impact that much. I really do like Wuthering Waves 2.0. I like Renacita, and I really like the exploration and what Kuro Games have done with the game. I think they knocked the patch out of the park. Now, that aside, right, glazing the patch is a totally separate video. What do gacha gamers need to be doing right now, though, is the point of the video. And what we need to be doing, especially in the Wuthering Waves sort of field here, is advocate for better quality of life changes. Now, you may be thinking, okay, well, Kuro Games already has a pretty good reputation for being the devs listen company. They already have a lot of these very player-friendly features. They already put a lot of quality of life stuff with every patch. I'm saying that we need to ask for more. And I'm also going to be providing examples of what Wuthering Waves could look to, what gacha gamers can use as a reference to bring into Wuthering Waves and overall make a more enjoyable, fun game. This is not about which game is better. This is about let's work together to make our games better by using concrete examples and references to tell the developers, hey, this is really good over here. Why can't we have this in our game? So what are some of the improvements that Wuthering Waves can have that is going to be coming from other gacha games? Well, as many of you may know, I play a lot of Zenless Zone Zero. I like Zenless Zone Zero a lot, and I would definitely not say like, hey, Zenless Zone Zero is so much better in this, I'm just going to play Zenless. No, Wuthering Waves now, especially with Renacita, has a lot in the game that I want to play, and I just wish they would have to just make the experience a little better here, okay? Or a lot better, really. So, what is my main gripe with Wuthering Waves? What can we use to improve? Well, first of all, I do think that in Wuthering Waves, farming for characters is pretty tough. It's pretty hard to get characters up to a max level or even like an intermediate like level 80 or 75 or whatever and get them into a usable state. I really would wish that Kuro Games would make it easier to farm for characters, especially for returning players. I feel like this is a big miss. I feel like they should have done this in preparation for Renacita, but the biggest thing that I think would be a very, very big benefit to returning players and casual players as well is a bigger reserve plate limit. In Zenless Zone Zero over here, you may not believe me, but this cap goes up to 2,400. 2,400 backup battery that we could be having in Wuthering Waves. I do think that Wuthering Waves need way more than 480. I feel like 480, which is like maybe a couple days that you're not playing, it sounds a little silly for you to be kind of just totally capped out. I do think that we could have a little more, and maybe around 1,200, somewhere around that ballpark, would be really good. It would be really great for returning players. It'd be great for casual players as well, just so that they can log in and not feel so bad about having lost all that energy. I feel like the number one cause, or one of the leading causes of why people quit, is when they take a break and they're like, oh, I'm just so far behind now, and now I just don't really want to touch my account at all. This is a very good solution to kind of mitigate that, and I definitely think we could use more. So what else can Wuthering Waves borrow from Zenless Zone Zero? Well, I definitely ran into this issue a lot, especially because I recently rolled Carlotta and I really wanted to build her very quickly. I thought it was really silly, or not silly, but I missed this feature that was in Zenless Zone Zero that I wish really bad that we could have in Wuthering Waves. If anyone plays Zenless Zone Zero, you would know what I'm talking about. It's going to be this. So over here is the weekly boss menu. As you can see, it says over on the bottom left-hand corner that I have 0 out of 3 remaining rewards. How weekly boss mats work in Zenless Zone Zero, these are very critical pieces to farm and build your character. If I look at any characters like over here, let's say Billy, right? I go to skills. In order to get these core skills, right? These core skill upgrades to upgrade my character in a very significant way, I need these boss mats. I need Ferocious Grip, 2 of them over here, 3 of them over here, right? I need a lot of weekly boss mats. For Carlotta, I need a lot of weekly boss mats as well. Well, in Zenless Zone Zero, and it started in patch 1.2, what they allowed you to do with the weekly boss materials is, even if you ran out of these 3 freebies that you get for free every week, you can actually select a boss. You can click this. So if you click this button right here, you get this warning. It says, hey, you're going to be using battery now to farm for this weekly boss mat, which is great. You're going to be using 60 battery now to get more of this boss mat. Just give 3 free weekly freebies. That's a mouthful, but 3 free weekly freebies, and allow the player to use their wave plates, which hopefully they have a little more in reserve, to farm for more weekly boss mats. I think this is a very good sort of compromise. This is something Zenless Zone Zero did in patch 1.2 because they wanted to give back to the players and make it a little more enjoyable for them to farm for their new characters. And so I definitely think this is a big part of it. I would love to have my Carlotta just maxed out before I move on to farming for another character. Moving on, I do think Echo EXP is a huge issue. And in actuality, it's not just Echo EXP, it's just the whole ecosystem, okay? And what I want to demonstrate here is a couple things from Zenless Zone Zero, okay? So if I go to Zenless Zone Zero, if I go to the HIA Club, this is the sort of farming stages over here, all of them here. We have Bertha over here. Let's go ahead and get into her system. And over here in the basic materials, we have a stage that's totally dedicated to just giving you Echo EXP, your Drive Disk EXP. And this is really good because, hey, sometimes I don't need to farm Echoes in Wuthering Waves. Sometimes I just want to spend all my plates and get the right amount of return for the Echo EXP. Just get purely Echo EXP because that's the thing that I'm missing the most in my account. And I'm pretty sure a lot of your guys' accounts too, because I've seen a lot of tweets now talking about it. So Echo EXP stage is a very good thing. I definitely think we need that. Besides that, if I go to my equipment over here, we have Swing Jazz here. This is my drive disc. This is the artifacts over here. I'll go to enhance it. And you'll notice if I click this and I level it up, I get the main stat and I get a substat too. What do you notice here? No tuners. No tuners. It's just Echo EXP. I honestly don't understand the purpose of tuners at all. I'm sure a lot of accounts have a lot of tuners, but not a lot of drive disk or Echo EXP. So I propose just scrapping the entire system. Tuners are ass. They are a pain. They are a chore. And it's just not a very good system, I think, at all. You can have instead just farming for the EXP. If I just keep pumping this disc, right, it's going to keep rolling the substats based off the level of the drive disk. Okay, I feel like that's what we should have. And you might be wondering, okay, well, how can they implement that and kind of go back on a system that's already in place? Well, very simple solution. Delete all tuners and compensate the player with an equivalent amount of Echo EXP. Just get rid of the whole thing, okay? I really do think that is a big hindrance to player progression. I feel like it's a very bad feeling sort of system, and it could be remedied by just having like Echo EXP stages and getting rid of tuners. Why not just keep it simple and use Zenless Zone Zero as a sort of reference here and see if we could bring that over to like Wuthering Waves or some kind of solution. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Definitely going out of the way here to sort of make the player experience better will overall create a more positive feeling with the game. It will deter them from wanting to quit after being frustrated with so slow progression. I definitely think this is something that Wuthering Waves can do, especially when we have a very close example that we could use as a reference point. So that's about it for me in this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.